Welcome to the largest wood factory, where raw timber is transformed into versatile plywood sheets every day.
The process begins with the arrival of heavy trucks carrying sustainably harvested logs from the nearby forests.
Massive hydraulic cranes unload the timber with incredible power and precision, stacking them in the sorting yard. Constant irrigation is required to keep the wood moist, preventing the logs from cracking in the sun. Heavy loaders feed the logs onto the main intake conveyor, starting their journey into the factory heart.
Please subscribe to our channel now to see more amazing industrial processes and modern factory technology videos.
The debarking machine rotates the log against metal teeth, stripping away the rough outer layer of bark.
Nothing is wasted here, as the stripped bark is collected and used as fuel for the boiler. Large metal detectors scan every log to ensure no nails or bullets damage the expensive cutting blades.
Huge circular saws cut the long timber into precise lengths, suitable for the peeling lathe machine ahead. The cut blocks are submerged in hot water vats to soften the wood fibers for easier peeling.
Thermal conditioning is a vital step that ensures the veneer peels off smoothly, without breaking or cracking.
Laser scanners determine the exact center of the log to maximize the yield of the wood veneer.
The log is clamped into the rotary lathe and spun at high speeds against a razor-sharp blade.
A continuous ribbon of wood veneer is peeled from the log, resembling a giant roll of paper. The knife must be incredibly sharp to maintain a consistent thickness of 1/10 of an inch.
Once the log is peeled down to the core, it is ejected and sent for repurposing later.
The wet veneer ribbon travels down the green chain at high speeds towards the automated clipping station.
Automated clippers use scanners to spot defects and cut the ribbon into standard usable sheet sizes today.
Skilled workers inspect the wet sheets, removing any pieces that do not meet the strict quality standards. The wet sheets are fed into massive drying ovens to reduce their moisture content to distinct levels. Precise temperature control is critical to prevent the wood from warping or shrinking during the drying process. The veneer emerges from the dryer, crisp and stable, ready for the next stage of the production. Sensors check every sheet, ensuring the moisture level is uniform for a strong and durable final bond. Automated grading systems sort the veneer based on knots grain pattern and overall visual quality for assembly. Defects like knot holes are punched out and replaced with clean wood patches to upgrade the grade.
Narrow strips of veneer are stitched together with glue and thread to create full-sized core sheets.
The graded veneer is transported to the layup line, where the plywood assembly process truly begins today.
Rollers apply a uniform layer of strong industrial adhesive to both sides of the core veneer sheets. Workers stack the sheets with alternating grain directions to give the plywood its legendary strength and stability.
This cross-graining technique prevents the wood from splitting and expanding, ensuring a dimensionally stable final product.
The loose stacks are moved to a cold press to tack the veneer together before final bonding.
The cold press applies pressure to flatten the sheets and ensure the glue transfers evenly between layers.
The consolidated stacks are now ready for the hot press, where the permanent chemical bond will form. Automated loaders feed the sheets into the multi-level hot press, increasing production speed and worker safety. The press closes with immense hydraulic force, applying heat and pressure to cure the resin glue permanently. The cooking time is carefully monitored to ensure the glue cures completely without burning the wood surface.
Once the cycle is complete, the press opens, releasing the now solid and durable plywood panels today. The hot panels must be cooled down gradually to stabilize the wood before any further finishing steps.
Quality control technicians measure the thickness to ensure the pressing process was consistent across the entire batch. The rough edges are trimmed off by precision saws, creating perfectly square panels with exact dimensions.
High-speed saws cut the panels to the industry standard 4 by 8 foot size for construction.
The panels pass through wide belt sanders to smooth out the surface and calibrate the final thickness. Aggressive sanding belts remove rough spots, ensuring the plywood has a smooth finish ready for customer use. Visual inspection is crucial to catch any sanding marks or surface defects before the grading stamp.
Advanced camera systems assign a grade to each sheet based on the quality of the face veneer.
The automated system sorts the finished panels into different stacks, separating high-grade furniture wood from construction. An inkjet printer applies the grade stamp and certification details to the edge of every plywood sheet.
Minor imperfections in lower-grade sheets are manually repaired with wood putty to maximize the usable yield.
The finished stacks are strapped securely to prevent shifting during their transport to warehouses and retail stores.
Logistics teams load the heavy bundles onto trucks, distributing this essential building material across the entire country.
The journey continues as a local carpenter purchases the high-quality plywood for a custom furniture project.
In the workshop, the large industrial sheet is about to be transformed into a beautiful dining table.
Precision measuring ensures that the plywood is cut to the exact dimensions needed for the table design.
The stable core of the plywood allows for clean cuts without splintering, making it ideal for furniture.
Wood glue is applied to the joints to assemble the structural base of the new dining table.
Heavy clamps hold the pieces firmly in place, ensuring a tight bond as the adhesive sets completely.
Hand sanding smooths out the sharp edges, preparing the surface for the final application of the finish.
Edge banding is applied to cover the exposed layers, giving the plywood table a solid wood appearance.
Staining the plywood enhances the natural grain pattern of the face veneer, adding warmth to the piece.
A clear coat of lacquer protects the table from spills and scratches, ensuring it lasts for years.
From a raw log in the forest to a centerpiece in the home, and the transformation is complete.
This incredible journey highlights the engineering marvel that turns simple timber into essential products for our lives.
Behind the scenes, massive boilers burn waste wood to generate the steam needed for the factory operations. Modern filtration systems clean the exhaust smoke, minimizing the environmental impact of this massive industrial manufacturing facility.
Maintaining the razor edge of the lathe knife is an art form that requires years of experience.
The adhesive recipe is carefully mixed to ensure a waterproof bond that meets strict industrial strength standards. Random samples are destroyed in the lab to test the breaking point and ensure safety compliance daily.
Skilled forklift drivers navigate the busy warehouse, moving tons of material safely and efficiently every single shift.
Even the dust from sanding is collected in silos and sold to farmers for animal bedding material.
Preventative maintenance keeps the miles of conveyor belts running smoothly, preventing costly downtime for the factory line.
Computer algorithms calculate the best way to cut each log to maximize yield and minimize waste.
It takes a dedicated team of hundreds of workers to keep this 24-hour operation running. As the sun sets on the log yard, the night shift prepares to take over the production. Powerful floodlights illuminate the facility, ensuring safety and productivity continue through the dark hours of the night. The massive fans inside the dryer circulate hot air to wick moisture from the wood very efficiently. Veneer that is too damaged to repair is sent to the chipper to become paper pulp chips. Automation allows for both sides of the heavy panels to be inspected without manual lifting by workers. Monitoring hydraulic pressure is vital to ensure the plywood layers are compressed into a single solid unit.
The steam venting from the roof is the only visible sign of the intense heat used inside.
Looking at the edge, you can clearly see the alternating layers that give plywood its incredible strength.
High-quality plywood from this factory is exported globally to be used in construction projects around the world.
Final moisture checks ensure the plywood will not warp or delaminate once it reaches the humid job site. Even the support equipment, like forklifts, requires constant maintenance to keep the flow of materials moving fast.
Proper documentation ensures that every load is accounted for, maintaining strict inventory control for the business office.
The appetite of the factory is immense, consuming thousands of logs daily to meet the market demand.
The origin stamp is a mark of quality, assuring buyers that the wood meets strict manufacturing standards.
Weather conditions do not stop production, but they do require adjustments to the log conditioning process times.
Responsible forestry practices ensure that for every tree harvested, new saplings are planted for the future.
This cycle of renewal ensures that the industry remains sustainable, providing wood products for generations to come.
The human element is just as important as the machinery in creating high-quality wood products today. From the factory floor to the job site, and these panels become the backbone of safe, modern housing. Architects and designers also value plywood for its aesthetic appeal, bringing the warmth of wood into interiors.
The flexibility of plywood allows it to be molded into ergonomic furniture shapes that solid wood cannot.
The unique grain patterns ensure that every piece of furniture made from this wood is truly one of a kind.
As the world sleeps, the factory hums on a beacon of industry, converting nature's bounty into resources.
Cycle continues, endlessly processing nature's raw materials into the building blocks of our modern civilization.
It is a long journey from the forest, but the result is a place for families to gather.
Thank you for joining us inside the world's largest wood sawmill factory to see this amazing process. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into industrial manufacturing, and we will see you next time.